Hey guys, it's Coach Pete, and today we're going to talk about a bunch of different things. We're going to focus specifically on nutrition, and what I'd like to do, as you can see, I have a ton of things on the island right now in the kitchen, and what I'd like to do is take you through an average day, nutritional wise, from breakfast all the way through to dinner. Some good decisions, some bad decisions, some pitfalls that we make, some missteps that we might make throughout the day, and kind of change the process for you in particular as athletes to start reading labels and better understanding what's going into your body as fuel. You know, I tell my kids all the time, I tell my athletes that I train with all the time, is that it's like a car. You know, your body throughout the day needs fuel to keep running. If you don't put the proper fuel in it, you're gonna end up on the side of the road waiting for AAA to come pick you up. So what we wanna do is start off all the way on this side of the table, and we're gonna work our way all the way through on this side of the table. So first thing in the morning when we wake up, okay, it's critical that you start your day off on a positive note. So what I typically like to do first thing in the morning is start off with a little bit of water, okay, right off the rip. So when I get out of bed in the morning, grab a bottle of water, have a glass of water. As soon as I come downstairs, early riser, I've got to get the girls to school. We start hydrating right off the bat. And we're gonna have a huge discussion towards the end of this video to talk to you about this versus everyone's favorite this. And I'm just gonna tell you right now, by the time we're done talking about it, you might not like me very much, because this is going to go away and this is gonna stay in the forefront. So we're at breakfast right now, okay? One of the first things we do, we walk into the pantry or wherever you may keep your food in the closet, and we take a look at about 6 or 7 different boxes of cereal. If you're in my house, that's what happens. All of them, the Lucky Charms, the Fruit Loops, the Frosted Flakes, those are the ones we reach for first. And here's the main mistake we're making there. That's how you're starting your day, okay? So most of those cereals are high, very high in sugar, and your sugar intake in a normal day should only be between 25 grams and 30 grams of sugar per day. As athletes, we wanna try and keep it right around 25 grams, because too much sugar is gonna lead to issues down the road, and we're gonna talk about that a little bit later. So we don't reach for the sugary cereals. Put them aside, stop buying them. Get yourself a box of Cheerios. If you need to put a little bit of sweetener on top of the Cheerios, I'm okay with that. But stay away from the sugary cereals, because in about an hour, you're gonna be craving more sugar. But again, we'll come back to that. So I always reach for some fruit, okay? And here's my plug for the local farmers markets. Instead of going to the grocery store, if you have a local farmers market close to you, nearby, anywhere close, go out and reach out to those guys. They're local folks, it's grown locally, they're putting it right on the shelves for you, and I can guarantee you from an expense standpoint, okay, so this is a full container of watermelon, $4.58, extremely inexpensive. The pineapples that we have here are only $2.75 for a full container of pineapples, and these should last you probably about a week, okay? So inexpensive and extremely healthy. So we slice up some fruit, we put it in a bowl, and we go. Other options that I would have for you first thing in the morning is, and this is going to be huge as well throughout the day, bananas. Excellent form of carbohydrates for you before a workout, even after a workout, because it's not too heavy, and mixed into a shake. So if you've got a shake thing at home, this is my little Ninja. If you've got a little Ninja at home, half a banana, milk, reduced fat milk, maybe a little spoonful of peanut butter, and get out the door. So we've got breakfast taken care of, we've gotten out the door, no Lucky Charms, no Fruit Loops. Now, we're moving to the middle of the morning because we're starting to get a little bit hungry. So, options for you that I come up with, okay? Handful of almonds. Excellent source of energy food for you, especially as athletes. Only a handful or two. If you're getting ready to go do a workout, it's an awesome food to have right before a workout as well. Not too heavy, gives you a little bit of energy to get you through, and you're not craving that sugar in about an hour to an hour and a half. Now, another nice little snack in the middle of the morning, avocado on a piece of toast, whole grain, wheat toast. You take the avocado, you slice it down the middle, you scoop out a little bit, you put it on the toast. My oldest daughter has this all the time. She loves it. You can have it before a workout, after a workout. Again, another source of good energy for you. So mid-morning, we're looking for fruits still, maybe some applesauce, maybe a cheese stick, but stay away from the sugary snacks. I know if I walk into my pantry right now, there are 6 boxes of Girl Scout cookies. Now, would I love to open up the Girl Scout cookies? Of course I would love to open up the Girl Scout cookies. Would I like to open my freezer and eat the entire sleeve of frozen Thin Mints that I have? Of course I do. But I know that later in the afternoon, I'm gonna pay the price. One, because I'm gonna have to delete those calories, which means I'm gonna have to work a whole lot harder. And number two, sugar sits. And guess what happens when it sits in your body? It doesn't go anywhere. And then it turns into fat. So more sugar, more fat. We're athletes, okay? We need to put the proper fuel into our body. So we've gotten a decent mid-morning snack. Let me go back to your shakes again, remind you. Mid-morning, half a banana, a little bit of milk, maybe some sweetener if you need it, or a little scoop of peanut butter. Maybe a shake mid-morning, okay? Now we're at lunch. Woo, big decisions to be made here. Now, this is the only time I really wrote some numbers down because I want you to understand and see just how bad the fast food industry is for us, especially as athletes. We think that this is something, it's quick, it's easy, it's efficient. I can get in, I can get out, I can go through the drive-thru, I can eat on the run, I can do all of this. What you're gonna do later in the afternoon is pay the price for the 2 minutes of speed and efficiency that you got, okay? So let's just talk about a couple numbers real quick. This is the only time I'm gonna pick up a piece of paper because I wanted to make sure that you guys get the full grasp of how this thing is gonna work, okay? Because my lunch compared to this lunch is gonna be completely different. But for you, it's gonna be a huge benefit because you're gonna get the proper fuel. Now this is putting your car on the side of the road waiting for AAA. So let's talk about a couple things. And again, this comes back to the process of reading labels and understanding exactly what's in. So first things first. So I went online because I'm an information guy. I process. So I said, can you give me the breakdown of a Big Mac meal? Now, Big Mac meal sounds delicious. It is delicious. I'm not gonna lie to you. Back in the day, before my metabolism slowed down, I love myself a Big Mac meal. Get some fries, maybe a Diet Coke, doesn't really make a difference. So let's talk about a couple numbers. Big Mac meal, 1,300 calories in the meal. Grams of fat, 58 grams of fat. And grams of sugar, 95 grams of sugar in that one meal. So let's rewind for a second. Reverse. How many grams of sugar did I tell you guys was the allotted amount of sugar you should be putting in your body per day? 25 to 30. So in one stop at the drive-thru, we've almost quadrupled the daily intake in one meal. Okay, and that meal will leave you feeling sluggish and looking for more sugar throughout the day as we move forward, okay? Same thing with the Whopper, all right? So let's take a look at a Whopper. 65 grams of fat, 1,400 calories, okay? So what's fast and easy and inexpensive is not healthy and it's not good for you, okay? So we're gonna try and give you some other options. What I like to do is you can take a simple turkey breast from the deli. Little shout out to ShopRite, because that's where we get our turkey from, close by here in Wyckoff. So take turkey, a little bit of cheese, whole grain or whole wheat bread, or if you don't want the bread, if you don't want the extra carbs that the bread has to offer, take a piece of turkey, take a piece of cheese, roll it up, and eat it. We call them turkey roll-ups. My girls love them. They have them all the time. It's something that you can do quick if we have to hop in the car, if we're on our way to something. If someone's got practice or someone has a meeting or someone has to go babysit and they need something quick to eat, we grab a slice of turkey, a little bit of cheese, roll that up, make 3 or 4 of those before we head out the door, and the calories and the intake is much less and much more beneficial for you than stopping at the drive-thru and grabbing yourself the illustrious Big Mac meal. Another thing that I will talk to you about, okay? Now, not always available, but I'm gonna recommend it, okay? It's the Purdue Shortcuts. And again, I'm gonna read the label real quick for you, because protein is 18 grams, carbs, none. Let's talk about calories, 90 calories per serving, okay? So a little bit of chicken, tons of protein, which is what we need as athletes to help fuel our body and to make us better, all right? So protein here versus fat and calories here with the Big Mac and the Whopper, all right? So there's your lunch. Make good decisions. Again, if you're gonna lean towards the bread, I go whole wheat, all right? Whole wheat bread thins here or sandwich thins here versus the white bread. And again, it will boil down to you reading the labels, taking a look and deciding what you need for yourself for your body type to get you through the day. All right. So now we've done breakfast, we've done lunch. Hopefully somewhere in between, we've had a bottle of water. Okay. Because now we're moving to the afternoon. We're starting to get deep in the day. We might be lacking a little bit of energy. We might be lacking a little bit of push to get us through the remainder. So again, I lean back to another handful or two of almonds, excellent energy, or go back to your shake. Now, if you work out in the afternoon, one of the things that I would recommend if you don't have access to protein powder, because protein powder tends to be extremely expensive these days, you can go for a very simple replacement, okay? And this is the only time I'm gonna tell you that I want you to drink chocolate milk, all right? So listen, a reduced fat milk, okay, after a workout with Hershey's chocolate syrup. Yes, I said it. Don't tell anybody. It's a great replacement for a protein shake if you don't have protein powder, okay? Basically the equivalent. If you want to look up the numbers, go ahead and do so. So that might even be a really good afternoon option for you as well, okay? Again, could be a shake. You could mix it in with some peanut butter, add peanut butter to it. We've got some options over here. We've got guacamole, which has avocado in it, which is extremely healthy, as well as hummus, which is much better than your typical dips that you would do with chips, okay? And then stick with the whole grain pretzels versus regular pretzels. So tons of options for you in the afternoon snack. Now, as we approach dinner, obviously we want to balance the plate out, okay? I didn't pull out the whole refrigerator, but typically at dinner, we're looking for some sort of meat, some sort of protein, okay, a vegetable, and some sort of carbohydrate starch. So maybe a mashed potato or a baked potato with some broccoli. We tend to bake the veggies. So if you want to, take the vegetables, put them on a tray, put them in the oven, 350 degrees, 10 to 15 minutes, make them nice and crisp so they're not all soggy. If you're microwaving your vegetables, it might be a good option for you, okay? Now, late night snack, grab yourself a bottle of water, okay? Because we know, and I know, that there's a sleeve of frozen Thin Mints in the freezer, and there's about 6 boxes of Girl Scout cookies in the pantry. So if they see Dad scampering around 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, if you hear that pitter patter going across the kitchen, that's me. I'm going to get some Girl Scout cookies, or I'm going to get some Thin Mints. Bottle of water tricks your stomach, makes you think you're full, okay? You won't be hungry, okay? Bottle of water. So let's rewind for a second and talk about some of the things that we went over. Labels. Read the labels and make sure when you take a look at the labels that you're understanding the serving size. Sorry about that. Serving size is extremely important because you may pick something up and it says 50 calories per serving, but the container that you're about to go through is 3 servings. So it's 150, so we just tripled. And that leads us to our next topic, okay? Which is this lovely little monster right here, okay? So let's have a quick conversation about the energy drinks that we have out there. And I hate to use these guys as the example. This was the only one I had in the fridge. Typically, I have about 6 or 7 on hand so we can have this conversation. But this is a great example, okay? Again, you see all the star athletes out there, you know, drinking their Gatorade during a football game, during a basketball game, during a soccer game, whatever they're competing in, they're grabbing a thing of Gatorade. And here's why. Because the Gatorade is full of sugar. And the sugar that's in the Gatorade is going to temporarily give you the energy that you need. Now, a very simple question that you can't answer to me right now because I'm sending you a video, but I'm going to ask it to you anyway, okay? In an hour after you've had this sugary energy drink, what happens? Now, I know you're all yelling at me right now because you're trying to give me the answer, okay? We'll wait for it. 3, 2, 1. You crash. And why do you crash? Because the sugar rush is worn off. Now, let me ask you a very simple question to follow up. What happens after the crash? You want more. So what do? You drink another one. Great marketing. It really is. Because yes, you're getting some of the stuff, the electrolytes that you need to put back into your body. But let me pause for just a second here. And let's see. Hold on. 21 grams of sugar per serving. Okay. Now, this has 2.5 servings. It's not just 1 serving. So while you say, hey, Coach Pete, you told me I could have 25, this one's only got 21. First and foremost, That's only for one serving. This is 2.5. So there you are, again, at 50 grams of sugar in this one cute bottle that might be red or pink or orange or yellow to get your attention. You know how much sugar is in here? None. It's amazing. And after I have a bottle of water, I'm hydrated, I'm feeling good, right? So back to this. 50 grams of sugar, okay? So you drink your Gatorade. And I can tell you, as I've trained clients for the last 10 years, young athletes, when they drink a Gatorade and they come train with me, that Gatorade's sitting and it's sugar sitting in your belly. And if you're gonna do any high intensity workouts, which they do when they come with me, these hockey players, shout out to my boys from Union, the hockey players, if they've got a full belly of Gatorade and I start trucking them all over a room, guess where that Gatorade ends up? You got it. Yep, you got it. So remember, when you pick one of these up, maybe just a little bit. Maybe just drop a little bit into your water. Make it last a little bit longer. I try to add it to my girls' water just as a little bit of sugar, not too much. That gives them that little burst that they're not, looking for it later down the road. So that's our talk on energy drinks. So from breakfast all the way through dinner, I think we've pretty much covered it. I mean, nutrition is a tricky thing, okay? Because it's all about calories in versus calories out. So depending on your activity level, you may need more calories than the person who's currently sitting next to you, behind you, or in front of you. Or you may need less. It all depends, okay? So you should find out what your normal intake should be, and then take a look around the table and see if there's anything that interests you. We got water, we've got watermelon, we've got good decisions here. We've got applesauce, we've got bananas, we've got whole grain pretzels, our chicken selects, tons of protein. And guess what we don't have? We don't have any junk food. We don't have any Big Macs. We don't have any Whoppers, okay? Because I try to practice what I preach. I try to show my girls all the time. So I've got daughters. I've got a 15 and 13-year-old. Both of them play sports. We want to keep good things in their body. Again, it comes back to a very simple process. Your body is like a car. You've got to put the right fuel in it if you want it to perform properly. Putting the wrong fuel in the car ends you up on the side of the road. So, takeaways from today. Make sure you read the labels. Just take a look. Make sure you're getting good serving sizes and keep a really close eye on that sugar, all right? Because the sugar is what's gonna sit, and the sugar is what pulls you back and gets you back in again, getting more and more and more, so your calorie increase. Last thing I'm gonna tell you about, because I walked into the pantry right before we did this quick video, okay? And I think my wife was actually trying to open up an IHOP because we have about 19 containers of maple syrup, all right? So let me just read this to you real fast and then I'm gonna let you go, I promise. Okay, a typical serving size of this lovely lady who we put on top of our waffles or our pancakes or whatever we're gonna have in the morning. My kids will put this on top of anything, all right? A quarter cup is what a typical serving is, 25 grams of sugar, okay? So if you're doing the old Aunt Jemima first thing in the morning, you've already hit your sugar allotment, so cut it out. Maybe just a little bit, maybe just a little drizzle, maybe some sort of sweetener to get you through, okay? So again, read your labels, understand what's going into your body. You guys are athletes, you gotta take good care of yourself. It's like a temple, good things in, good things out. Any questions? I'm going to leave some contact information for you to reach out. Hopefully, you'll have an opportunity to take you to my second favorite room. This is the kitchen. We've got a workout room downstairs. I'd love to take you through some workouts, but if you have any questions, my email address is pjbangs, B-A-N-G-S, @gmail.com. Please feel free to reach out. I'll respond to all of your emails. Otherwise, be safe, stay strong, read labels.